Welcome, enterprise developers and technical architects. I am your expert technical instructor. Today, we are focusing on a critical capability within the GH-300 certification, effectively using GitHub Copilot in your IDE by mastering the various trigger mechanisms. Let's begin. Welcome to our deep dive into using GitHub Copilot within your integrated development environment. To truly master Copilot for the GH-300 certification, you must deeply understand the different ways it can be triggered to assist you in your daily software development lifecycle. The most seamless and immediate trigger is the inline suggestion. Operating as a proactive AI pair programmer, Copilot continuously analyzes your surrounding code and cursor position. It securely transmits this context via an HTTPS tunnel to a highly specialized large language model. As you type executable code or natural language comments, Copilot predicts what you want to write next and renders a response as ghost, text visually distinct, grayed out code directly in your editor window. To trigger an acceptance of this generated code, you simply press the Tab key. If Copilot generates multiple possibilities, you can cycle through them using the Ctrl+Enter shortcut, allowing you to select the optimal implementation. Furthermore, the system includes an advanced predictive feature called Next Edit Suggestions. If you rename a variable or update a function parameter, Copilot anticipates the corresponding changes needed throughout your file and suggests them automatically. This inline triggering mechanism is incredibly powerful for minimizing context switching. However, it requires developers to maintain well-structured code and descriptive variable names, as the AI heavily relies on this immediate context to generate accurate completions. Behind the scenes, when you trigger an inline suggestion, the input prompt is pre-processed using the fill-in-the-middle or FIM technique. This considers both the preceding and following code context, effectively expanding the model's understanding. The payload is then securely passed through an Azure-hosted proxy server, which applies rigorous real-time toxicity and personal data filtering before the language model ever processes it. By mastering the art of writing explicit, goal-oriented comments, you can effectively steer these inline triggers to scaffold entire functions, generate repetitive boilerplate, and rapidly accelerate your initial coding phases without ever breaking your focus. To effectively trigger inline suggestions, developers must rely on prompt engineering via comments. While inline suggestions are excellent for passive autocomplete, complex refactoring requires active dialogue. This is where triggering GitHub Copilot Chat becomes essential. Copilot Chat transforms your IDE into a conversational interface, accessible either through a dedicated side panel or directly within your editor using the Inline Chat shortcut, which is Command+I on Mac or Control+I on Windows. Triggering the inline chat allows you to highlight a specific block of code and prompt Copilot to explain its logic, refactor its structure, or patch a vulnerability without losing your place in the file. The chat panel, on the other hand, is perfect for broader architectural discussions. When you trigger a chat prompt, you can choose between different session modes, such as Ask mode for answering questions, or Edit mode for directly applying code changes. You have extensive control over the AI's context. You can drag and drop files from your IDE Explorer directly into the chat view to attach them, or use the hash file syntax to explicitly link specific documents, such as API specifications or internal style guides. Furthermore, GitHub Copilot Chat supports advanced models like GPT-5.2, which can even process visual inputs. If you are struggling with a user interface bug, you can literally drag and drop a screenshot or a Figma mockup into the chat prompt. Copilot will analyze the visual layout alongside your code to suggest HTML or CSS fixes. This interactive triggering mechanism is a profound tool for understanding legacy systems. By selecting unfamiliar syntax and triggering an explanation request, developers can rapidly onboard onto new projects. You can also utilize subthreads within the chat to branch off and explore different aspects of a topic without losing the original conversation history, keeping your primary workspace highly organized and focused. This scenario demonstrates triggering the inline chat feature. By highlighting the fragile fetch request and pressing Ctrl+I, the developer opens a floating chat window directly over the code. Submitting the natural language prompt instructs Copilot to specifically analyze the highlighted lines. The AI will then generate a diff showing the original code replaced by a robust try-catch block with exponential backoff logic. The developer can review this diff and click Accept to instantly apply the refactor without ever moving their mouse to the sidebar. To maximize the efficiency of your chat triggers, GitHub Copilot provides specialized mechanisms known as /commands and chat participants. Writing complex, detailed prompts from scratch for common tasks is inefficient. /commands solve this by allowing you to quickly specify the exact intent of your query. By simply typing a / in the chat box, you trigger built-in workflows. For instance, triggering /tests instantly commands the AI to generate a comprehensive suite of unit tests for the active file. Using /fix prompts Copilot to analyze and repair syntax errors, while /new allows you to rapidly scaffold an entire project workspace, like a React application or a Node.js Express server. Alongside /commands, you can trigger chat participants by using the @ symbol. Participants are domain experts. Triggering at workspace forces Copilot to search your entire locally opened project, ensuring its suggestions are grounded in your global repository structure rather than just the active tab. Triggering at GitHub invokes cloud-based skills, allowing you to ask questions about online repository metadata or search the web for the latest API documentation. For enterprise teams, you can take this a step further by creating prompt files. Stored in your repository with a .prompt.md extension, these files act as reusable, predefined prompt templates that contain specialized organizational knowledge. When you trigger a chat, you can easily attach a prompt file, which seamlessly injects your complex, standardized instructions into the LLM's context window. This guarantees that your AI agent consistently follows your internal security protocols and architectural guidelines without requiring the developer to memorize and retype lengthy contextual constraints every single time they interact. Here we see the internal structure of a prompt file. When a developer triggers Copilot Chat, instead of typing a long command, they can attach this api-review.prompt.md file. Notice the usage of the hashtag file syntax within the template. When triggered, Copilot dynamically resolves this reference, pulling the entire architecture.md documentation into its context window. This powerful feature allows teams to execute highly complex, standardized security audits with just a few clicks, guaranteeing consistent AI behavior across the entire engineering department. This diagram illustrates how advanced chat triggers route requests. Moving beyond the IDE, developers can also trigger AI assistants directly within the terminal using the GitHub Copilot Command Line Interface, or CLI. The terminal is a notoriously unforgiving environment, where remembering complex shell scripts and flags is a daily challenge. Copilot CLI brings agentic capabilities directly to your command line. You can trigger the CLI interactively by simply typing Copilot in your terminal, launching a persistent chat-like session. Alternatively, you can trigger it programmatically using the Copilot-P flag, passing a prompt string directly for use in automated shell scripts or CI/CD pipelines. Within the interactive session, you have access to powerful, terminal-specific /commands. If you encounter an unfamiliar or dangerous-looking bash script, triggering /explain will cause Copilot to break down exactly what the command does before you execute it. If you need to perform a task, triggering /suggest allows you to describe your goal in natural language, and Copilot will generate the exact shell command required. Because the terminal can execute destructive actions, Copilot CLI is built with strict security guardrails. By default, it will never execute a command autonomously. When you trigger a suggestion, Copilot presents the command and explicitly asks for human confirmation before running it. To optimize your workflow, you can define allowed tools in your configuration, granting Copilot permission to run safe read-only operations while still requiring manual approval for write or execution tasks. You can also trigger the /research command, which activates a specialized agent to perform deep investigations across your local file system, organization repositories, and public documentation, generating a comprehensive, heavily cited Markdown report directly in your terminal. This terminal snippet demonstrates both programmatic and interactive CLI triggers. The first command pipes a natural language request directly into the Copilot binary, which is perfect for integrating AI explanations into CI/CD build logs. The second section shows the interactive mode. The user triggers the /suggest command with a complex file finding requirement. Copilot will synthesize the precise find bash command with the correct size and end-time flags, presenting it for review and manual execution, saving the developer a trip to the manual pages. The CLI triggering flowchart displays the bifurcation of terminal use. One of the most advanced ways to trigger and utilize GitHub Copilot is through plan mode and subsequent agent mode execution. When tackling large, complex architectural changes, jumping straight into code generation can lead to disjointed and buggy implementations. Instead, developers should trigger plan mode. In the IDE, this can be selected from the session mode dropdown, or within the Copilot CLI interactive session, you can trigger it by pressing Shift+Tab. When you submit a prompt in plan mode, Copilot does not write code. Instead, it operates autonomously to analyze your request, explore the necessary files, and generate a detailed, step-by-step implementation plan. It acts as a senior architect, identifying potential risks, defining the technical approach, and asking clarifying questions to eliminate ambiguity. You and the agent work collaboratively to review and refine this plan. You can answer the agent's questions, adjust the scope, and iterate on the strategy until you are completely satisfied. Once the plan is meticulously approved, you trigger the execution phase. In the CLI, you select Accept Plan and build on autopilot, or in the IDE, you click Start Implementation. Copilot seamlessly switches into agent mode, where it autonomously executes the agreed-upon steps. It will create new branches, navigate the file system, generate the code, and even write and run unit tests to verify its own work. If you have integrated Model Context Protocol or MCP servers, the agent can even query external databases or issue trackers during this execution. If it encounters a test failure, agent mode will iteratively self-correct, reading the error logs and rewriting the logic until the tests pass. This orchestrated triggering of planning followed by autonomous execution drastically reduces the cognitive load on developers, allowing them to oversee massive system refactors with unparalleled efficiency and precision. This terminal interaction beautifully highlights the value of plan mode. The developer requests a massive framework migration. Because plan mode is active, Copilot halts before writing a single line of code. It scans the workspace and outputs a three-step strategic plan, followed immediately by a clarifying question regarding file management. This prevents the AI from making destructive assumptions. Regardless of how you trigger GitHub Copilot, whether via passive inline suggestions, conversational chat, terminal commands, or autonomous agent execution, the fundamental principle of responsible AI remains absolute. Human oversight is non-negotiable. Copilot is an incredibly sophisticated pair programmer, but it is a probabilistic machine learning model. It can hallucinate non-existent APIs, generate syntactically valid but logically flawed algorithms, or introduce subtle security vulnerabilities if the context is incomplete. Therefore, triggering AI code generation must always be paired with rigorous validation workflows. Every single AI-generated snippet must be subjected to your standard software development lifecycle checks. You must leverage your continuous integration and continuous deployment pipelines to execute automated unit, integration, and security tests on the generated code. Furthermore, utilize tools like Copilot Code Review to explicitly check for security flaws and enforce adherence to your repository's custom instructions. Peer code reviews remain a critical defense in-depth strategy. Human engineers must evaluate the AI's architectural intent and business logic. Remember, the code Copilot generates becomes your code the moment you press tab or merge the pull request. You bear the ultimate accountability for its performance and security in a production environment. By thoughtfully triggering Copilot using the right mode for the right task, grounding it with precise context, and enforcing uncompromising validation, you will unlock massive productivity gains without sacrificing quality. Thank you for joining this deep dive into Copilot triggers. To completely master GitHub Copilot and guarantee your success on the official GH-300 certification exam, visit quicktechie.com today for comprehensive training and interactive labs. To safely trigger Copilot at scale, your organization must rely on automated validation pipelines like this GitHub Actions workflow. Regardless of whether a developer used inline suggestions, chat, or autonomous agent mode to write a feature, the resulting pull request must pass this gauntlet. By enforcing automated test coverage execution and running deep static application security testing via CodeQL, you physically block hallucinated or insecure AI code from ever merging into your production branch. Our final diagram shows the essential defense in-depth validation cycle.
Welcome to quicktechie.com. So just type in quicktechie.com here. Then you can go through the material which is provided by Quicktechie. So we have first of all video courses which you can go here and you can find the various video courses across the technologies as well as finance domain. So if you see in Microsoft, we have 8 programs currently running. Next, you can go through the ebooks available. So all the ebooks which are in PDF format today, and you can download this. So let me go through Microsoft certification ebooks. You can click on any of this and you can see this is the PDF available for you to download. So these are the premium ebook mostly available on quicktechie.com platform only. Now the second part is exam simulator. As we primarily focus on the all technology companies and finance domain certification preparation material, so this is company wide listed here and you can go through this. So let me go through the Microsoft one again. You can see these are all Microsoft related certification. AB 730 exam, if you open it, so you can see here this, and all the practice papers are available here. Today we have a 5 practice paper. So click on the first practice paper, it would load the questions. You can answer this question. This is way you can answer it and you can move to the next question. Now the third material we wanted to highlight is an audiobook. So we started recently with the audiobooks as well, which you can listen on the go, and various technology wise ebooks are available. And at the last, this is our alumni. These people who are subscribing to our courses and this platform, they are all listed here. And at the end, I wanted to tell you, if you find any course or training or certification preparation material which you want to get us prepare for yourself, please put on the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, on Udemy, or on this platform itself, quicktechie.com, then please put the comment, or you can even send an email to using this contact us options here. You can directly do the WhatsApp message. You can call us on this numbers as well.